But most of the time, unfortunately, people are not aware of their discomfort. People are not
Yep.
connected to themselves.
Yes.
Not
Yes.
everybody is connected to themselves. So
Yes.
they
Agree.
misinterpret, they
Mm-hmm.
misinterpret the signs, they
Mm-hmm.
misinterpret the anxiety, the
Mm-hmm.
fear, or the frustration, and they cannot say what's wrong, but they don't even start thinking about the thing is that I'm not supposed to, interact with this person in this way. They don't stop thinking about it because they are not aware of it. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
they do not know themselves.
Welcome to the Self Care Goddess podcast, where healing stories, practical self care strategies, and science backed tools to regulate stress, feel calm, grounded, and energized come together to help you reclaim your vitality. I'm your host, Rita Savoya, holistic nutritionist, trauma informed breathwork coach, and founder of Breathwork Barista. This podcast is for women who are ready to restore their energy and radiance, reconnect with their bodies, reawaken their inner power, and redefine self care as a way of being. Through science meets soul practices, restorative mind body tools, and real stories of transformation, we'll explore how true well being can help you live with more joy, vibrant health, and authentic connection to yourself and those you love. Take a deep breath in, let it go, and let's begin. Hello, and welcome to another episode of the Self Care Goddess podcast with a very special guest today that I'm excited to announce. But before we start, we're going to go into heart coherence. And today's theme is actually how learning how to set boundaries can really radically change your life. So I'm excited to get into the details of that and more in just a few minutes. So if you would like to get into a heart coherence, bringing our mind and our heart, tuning in to our breath. If you prefer to lower your gaze or even close your eyes for this practice, to really tune out the outer world, tune out what is going to happen next. What do you have to do? What's on your to-do list? Forget that and just tune in, because it'll all be waiting for you. So just tune in with your breath. Allow your breath to guide your presence. Breathing in maybe for a couple of counts, so you allow the breath to expand the belly, the rib cage, and the chest on the inhales. And then when you exhale, allowing that contraction of the chest, the rib cage, and the belly button towards the spine. So maybe 4 counts in, 2, 3, 4, out, 2, 3, 4. That's it. Tuning in with your body. Perhaps allowing the exhales to soften any part of your body that you may be experiencing some tension, some stiffness, some tightness. And just breathing into those areas. And as we continue this focused breathing, I invite you to allow the breath to channel to the area of the heart. And call in something that you are grateful for today, big or small. Could be your cup of coffee or tea this morning, or maybe someone. Call this gratitude in. Breathe into it. And then allow this gratitude to pour out into the room that you're in and beyond. Taking a nice deep belly breath in and then letting it go with a sigh. Very nice. Slowly opening your eyes on the next inhale. Thank you for joining us today. We have Marija Kalenic isn't just a coach. She stands as a catalyst for transformation, guiding individuals towards realignment with their true selves. With a keen insight into the intricate interplay between personal convictions and core values, Maria empowers her clients to shatter self-imposed barriers hindering their professional growth. A focal point of Maria's practice lies in unraveling the subconscious mind's influence, enlightening clients to unobscured perceptions that impede progress. By uncovering deep-rooted fears and dismantling limiting behavioral patterns, Maria enables individuals to proactively shape their responses, steering them towards intentional actions rather than reactive behaviors driven by internal defense mechanisms. She creates a safe space outside of their comfort zones, encouraging them to freely express themselves while gently pushing them towards growth. By fostering self-awareness, she arms individuals with the necessary tools to initiate transformative changes in their professional and private endeavors. Wow, what a bio. What an honor to have you here. How are you today, Maria?
I'm great, thank you. I'm great. It's such a pleasure being here. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. So tell us a little bit more about what has inspired you on your personal journey to be on the mission that you are on today.
Well, about me, since I was really young, I've been so fascinated by the human mind and spirit. Well, I was actually fascinated with the essence of life itself. And I still love observing people, the way they act, react, connect with each other, and to better understand better myself and the others. I started as a little girl studying different philosophies, religions, and holistic disciplines, so many of them. So what I discovered was that despite our differences, deep down we are really all the same. I mean, we share the same basic instincts. We share the same emotions behind them, and we share the insane the same immense potential, which goes far beyond what most of us actually use. We are all extraordinary, which is fantastic, but not everyone knows how to harness that potential, unfortunately, let alone use it in a way that truly makes us happy, fulfilled, and thrive, right? So I put myself in there, I'm still learning, exploring, growing, and it's wonderful. And I believe it is a lifelong journey. So this is exactly why I became a mental coach,
Mm,
because I've supported myself during my life, and now I have this uh, benefit and this chance to support people and to help them open their eyes to their true potential. And I can guide them toward a more fulfilling life, which is fantastic. And
mm,
it's not only about individual transformation. You see, I deeply believe in the power of collective potential
yes.
because every person I help doesn't just change their life. I mean,
No.
it's
Mhm.
his life. They create a ripple effect of positivity and growth in their families, communities, and beyond. So together, we can really, starting from ourselves, build a world which is fulfilled with empowered individuals ready to make a real impact. So this is
That's
my mission.
beautiful. That's
Yeah,
beautiful. I completely agree that it is about community, building community, really lifting the consciousness of globally if you help that one person and then that one person helps
exactly.
others and just really it's a beautiful expansion of consciousness that we're all working towards, which is it's just such a beautiful time to be here and be able to help people and experience this shift. I highly love that as well. I believe in that as well. So I know we were talking a little bit offline about a few things and we want to get to, there's quite a bit we want to cover in such a short period of time and maybe we'll have you back. But um, why is it so important to set boundaries and how do we do that? What's the easiest way? Give us the easy way. But yes, why, first of all,
Well,
why it's important? Yeah.
well, why it's important. Boundaries, setting boundaries in my relationships has been like one of the most empowering things I've ever done for me. I must say that. You know, when I was younger, I was an amazing people pleaser. You call it that way, right? People pleaser. I did do just about anything to be considered a good person and to be accepted by others. So I would do anything for anybody, but it was totally need-driven behavior, okay? And it has actually limited me in so many ways for such a long time. I mean, for example, I don't know, I wasn't doing things I wanted. I wasn't pursuing my dreams and wishes. I was constantly setting up for scrambles. I was continuously disappointing myself so I wouldn't disappoint the others. But, after a while, on the long run, it becomes really only frustrating and that's it. And in a few words, I wasn't living the life I wanted for me up to my potentials and my strengths. So,
And
it
I love that. Sorry. Can I
happened.
just interrupt you for a second in terms of,
Yeah,
can we go
sure.
back to those needs? So you were doing these things for your needs, or where you had unmet needs? Is that what you meant by that?
Exactly, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
Most of people pleasers are
Mm-hmm.
actually acting out of fear of
Mm-hmm.
losing something or
Mm-hmm.
need of getting something.
Mm-hmm.
You have your behavior can be fear driven, like you have to
Mm-hmm.
you have the fear of loss. I'm doing
Mm-hmm.
this so I don't lose you, or I don't lose your respect that I believe I will have if I do it for you. Or you have a need for something and you are doing something so that somebody else would give you something back. But this is all illusion because, it's nobody guarantees you that you will get from the other person something just because you gave them something in return. So and most of the time we are actually neglecting ourselves because every time that you say yes to one thing, there is something that you are saying no to. People rarely think about it, but every single time that you choose something and you say yes to that thing, at that moment you are saying no to something else. You
Right.
know, and
So choose
and
wisely, right?
exactly. It is all about choices. It is all
Mm-hmm.
about choices, and we do not think about it. And so it is very important, to know truly why are you saying yes? Why are you pleasing people? Why are you not setting this this is one of the first boundaries. This is one of the first boundaries, being able in today's world, being able to say no. Okay. But
So I have a few techniques that I've come across certain people sharing these techniques with me in terms of, if it's not a hell yes right away, then it's a no, or it's a not now. So to actually feel it with everything, with your body, like viscerally, just feel it everywhere, emotionally as well. If somebody asks you to do something or go with them on somewhere, a trip or an event or a night out or whatever. If it's not a hell yes, then it's a no. Do you agree with that? Or do you
I
have different techniques you can share?
Well, I absolutely agree with that, Rita. Rita, the problem is that a lot of people I know, and me included, it took me a lot of time and practice and work on myself to be able to do the next step. It's not only about feeling
Mm-hmm.
everything in me is saying no to that. It's also on having enough courage to actually say no.
Yes, that's true. Yes, yes.
Yeah,
And that
it's
takes
not only about,
practice.
you say, listen to yourself. Yeah, people are listening to themselves. And then they come to me and then they say, well, I know it's wrong. I don't want to say yes, and I'm exhausted, but I
Mm-hmm.
still do. Why? Okay. So
Right.
this is where you have to take it from another perspective, I believe. I mean, I have another technique. Okay. I
Hmm.
have a technique that makes you think a little bit maybe deeper. because it makes you think a little bit more of what's happening once that you are saying yes against yourself. You see, first of all, if you don't take care of yourself, you won't be on the long run, you won't be able to take care of anyone else. Okay. And secondly, so being able to set boundaries, to set boundaries, you need two things. First thing, you need to know really and understand what is okay and what is not okay for you. You said, Rita, that sometimes you have that feeling,
Mm-hmm.
uh, all my body, my mind, everything is against this thing. So it's easy to decide. But most of the time, unfortunately, people are not aware of their discomfort. People are not
Yep.
connected to themselves.
Yes.
Not
Yes.
everybody is connected to themselves. So
Yes. I
they
agree.
misinterpret, they
Mm-hmm.
misinterpret the signs, they
Mm-hmm.
misinterpret the anxiety, the
Mm-hmm.
fear, or the frustration, and they cannot say what's wrong, but they don't even start thinking about the thing is that I'm not supposed to interact with this person in this way. They don't stop thinking about it because they are not aware of it. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
they do not know themselves well enough. So the first thing in to become able to set boundaries is understanding what is okay for you and what's not in relationships, at work, in everyday life. And it's about knowing and protecting your identity. The
Mm-hmm.
first thing, your identity are your core values. And
Mm-hmm.
you would be surprised how many people do not know. You ask them, what is your core value? And they're like, oh my gosh, what a question. I've got no
Mm-hmm.
idea, you
Mm-hmm.
know?
And it's your
Or
North
you need,
Star. It's your North
yeah,
Star, right? It's your guiding
exactly,
principles. Mm-hmm.
exactly. It's the one thing, it's the North Star. Yeah, I call it like that, bussola in Italian. It's really the thing that you are driven to viscerally, okay?
Mm-hmm.
Instinctively. And if you are not respecting your values, you will always end up frustrated. But if you are not aware of what your values are, it is harder to define around you in things, in situations that you find yourself in or in relationships. It's harder to define, oh, this is not for me, and just get up and get out of the situation or, go away from that person. And the second thing is not about knowing what's good or what's not good about for you, but is also about knowing and respecting your capacities and resources at all times. You
Right.
see, we very often completely forget that, if I'm exhausted and somebody asks me, oh, can we meet because I need to talk to you? I'm exhausted. I have nothing to give. So I cannot give it to you. Even if I adore you, I love you, I would do anything for you. But right now, I'm not able because I'm out of my energies.
Right.
Or if I do not have time, I have to protect my time.
Mm-hmm.
So it's all about being really aware at all times of your capacities in that moment. And this way, setting boundaries will protect your time, will
Mm-hmm.
protect your physical energy and your emotional well being. I assure you, you can't
Mm-hmm.
please others and give others what you don't have. I always say this, more you have, more you will be able to give. But
Yes.
first, you need to be sure that you recharge yourself.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
Jesus Christ said, love yourself the way you love the others. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, love the others the way you love yourself. So you have to start from yourself. It's not ego. It's not egoistic. It's for survival and for being
Mm-hmm.
able to give.
Yes, I love that. I love those two techniques, or at least they almost sound like pre-work to the setting of boundaries, right? You need to do this pre-work
Absolutely.
and understand like how to manage your energy. There are energy vampires really that can really
Oh,
suck your
yes.
energy and be always about them. And I find, I don't know about you, Maria, but a lot of people, you get on a phone call with someone and it's really all about them. And they rarely ask how you're doing. And being, a coach and being in this field, I find like, okay, I'll listen. But I do find that a lot more people are going into sort of this and talking about their problems and they want attention, right? So being discerning on how much time you give to people and when you give
Yes.
that time is it has changed my life. It has changed my life. But I agree with you because it does. I actually still to this day, when I say no to someone, or maybe even a not now, it's not a pure no, I feel sick. I feel like I've disappointed them. I feel like they're not going to like me anymore. I feel like they're not going to ask to go out or do something, So there's that guilt and maybe even sometimes a little bit of shame, even after all of these years of self-development, getting to my core wounds, my limiting beliefs. So it's work. It's definitely
Okay, but yeah,
ongoing.
exactly. Exactly, because Rita, I'm sorry, but is it is it the real truth that you actually need to be guilty, or that they actually are hurt by your denial? Most of the times
Hmm.
people accept our denial. Most of the times people accept that we do not have time for them or that we
Yeah.
cannot give them something.
It's actually, we're
But
making the story in our head, right?
we're making the story in our heads.
Yeah.
And
Hmm.
the thing is with people, that in Italy they say you give them a finger and they
They'll
will
take
take your
an
fist.
arm or
Okay. Oh, they will take your fist. Okay. In English, it's they'll take your arm. Okay, perfect. But that's it. There are so many people that are not concerned about, as you said, you talk to somebody and they only talk about themselves. They don't even ask you, how are you, Rita?
Hmm.
The same way when they are asking, pretending something and requesting something from you, they are not going to think about your possibilities, your capabilities, your
Hmm.
problems. They
Hmm.
will just, they will not think about it. Even if they love you, they will be focused on their problem. So when you say no, they could as well react like, oh yeah, sure, because I mean she's got this. Okay, no problem. And with most of the times they will not react badly. This is the truth. We should
Hmm.
try to say no more often, in
Hmm.
a gentle way. You can say, I'm so grateful you thought about me, and you're asking me, but unfortunately, today I can't do it. Can I help you to find somebody else that can do it for you? You can always deny a request, deny your help in a nice way, with love and with gentleness. And most of the times it's our vision that we will disappoint the others. But
Right.
I heard one time
Hmm.
a guy said, be very careful about this saying yes or no to things, because if you are so careful to disappoint the others, you will end up disappointing yourself too many times. Because he said, not everybody you can actually it's impossible to give to everybody everything. There is always giving up on something for getting something else. There is always this polarity of to have and not to have. So if you are not disappointing the others for such a for for too much. I don't know how to say that, but you'll understand, I hope. You will end up disappointing yourself. And if you continue disappointing yourself, you will be denying yourself your life,
Yeah, happiness, joy, right? Because then you'll be stuck in that guilt and that shame. So eventually, Maria, what you're saying is this will go away and I won't feel bad. And it'll just be like, hey, I just didn't have time, right? And that
yeah,
because it
exactly.
definitely it's getting easier for sure. Because I was definitely
Absolutely.
pleaser, and being in my previous career was in HR, human resources. So you can just imagine, can I speak to you? I need help with this. My sister needs a job. Can you get her? All of these things. And I'd be like, yes, 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 yes. I was like, yes, woman. So it does get easier, but I still feel sometimes like, why do I feel guilty saying no when I know it's the best thing for me? Right.
It's a habit. It's a
Mhm,
habit, Rita.
mhm,
We shouldn't be worried about it. It's an instinct and it's a habit. We have so
mhm.
many instincts. Our instinct is saying, yeah, please say yes, because if you have more people around you that are happy with you, you have more chances to survive. So it's a primordial instinct, to make the others pleased with you, to
Yes.
not get into the conflict, because you
Hmm.
know our first instinct is get away from the conflict. Conflicts are dangerous.
Hmm.
And
Yes.
so we shouldn't be afraid of this feeling. We should just understand it's just an instinct.
Hmm.
It's not it's not the reality. It's not what actually needs to be done, and it's not what's happening around me.
So I love this. So in terms of the setting boundaries, let's say we have a listener or a viewer that knows that they need to start doing this ASAP. So, a novice beginner of setting boundaries, what suggestions, what advice would you give this person that's listening or viewing this podcast?
I'd say start with the self-awareness. Start with some shadow work to find out why aren't you able to set boundaries. Okay. This is the first thing. And
Hmm.
then based on the whys, we can define how to change this behavioral habit, because with all these whys that we withhold, in ourselves from the times that we were children, we start setting up our behavioral patterns. And at one point, it becomes part of our identity. But we can change that identity if we know the why, okay, the root cause for it. So my suggestion is, the techniques like refuse in a gentle mode and stuff, they will help in some situations when you will be very concentrated and you will think about saying no and you will know how to do
Yeah,
it.
when
But
it's a text message and you have time to
exactly,
respond, right?
exactly,
When somebody
exactly. So
asks you on a phone call or in person interaction, then yes, you need to have that habit change, like really
you need
solid.
to have something. Yeah,
Hmm.
exactly. Of course, a great technique is, take your time, because before saying yes or no, just take time.
Very
You
easy.
know,
Yes.
this is the first thing that I actually say to my clients, while they are getting this new habit, I say,
Hmm.
okay, do not answer, just take time.
Yeah.
Say, I can't answer right now. Can I get back to you? And
Hmm.
then calm down and then evaluate your capacities at
Hmm.
that moment, and decide.
Right.
And then say no with gentleness, with love,
Yeah.
gratitude. It
Yeah.
helps so much.
I
It
like
helps
that.
so
I really do.
when you say no with gratitude and with
Hmm.
love, you disarm the other person, so they
Yes,
can't be
exactly.
angry.
Yes, exactly. And if they are, it's on them, not on you, right? That's
Yeah,
another thing.
and one thing, I'm sorry, one
No, go
important
ahead.
thing, you shouldn't take no like it as if you are excusing yourself. Because if you show the other person guilt, the other person
Mm,
will, it's if you gave him a tool to play with. So
mm.
a loving person won't take this against you, but another person will manipulate you. And if they feel your guilt,
Okay.
they will work you until you how do you
So what
say,
is that? Yeah, they'll take
until you
it
say
like,
yes.
yeah, oh,
Yeah.
I see. They'll manipulate
Okay.
you in a way, whether consciously or unconsciously,
Yeah. Yes.
intentionally
Yes.
or
Yes.
unintentionally. So
Never.
is this can you just phrase it? Can you give us an example in terms of like, oh, I'm sorry, but I can't do it. Is that what you mean in terms of an excusing yourself in that way?
It's more about the feeling. It's more about the feeling. It's not that much about words.
The
I mean,
words, okay.
you can say, for example, there is a difference by saying, "Oh, thank you, for coming to me, but I'm really sorry, but I won't be able to do it, because I have this or that, or I can't, or whatever." It's another thing if you say, "Oh, I'm sorry. Oh, yeah, I would love to do it. I've got no idea. Oh my gosh, and
Yeah.
person can say, well, why can't you? It'll be
Yes.
just a minute. It'll be just,
Yeah.
and they will work on your guilt, consciously or
Ah,
unconsciously, they will
yes.
get into it. So you
Mm.
have to be a little bit more assertive and really
Hmm.
sure that you are on the right side by saying no.
Right.
You are allowed to say no.
Right. Yes. Giving
Don't
yourself
worry.
permission. Yes.
Exactly.
To do that. Yeah, that's
Exactly.
really good.
So it's the energy that you're passing, the
Hmm.
energy that you're passing, the
Hmm.
tone, not that
Hmm.
much the words, but the tone.
Okay. Okay. Really good. I love that. I love that. And in terms of someone who's been working on their boundaries and setting boundaries, but hasn't been that successful, what would you say? Is it maybe, yeah, we can go into this because I was a little curious how you do this into the reprogramming of the behavioral patterns. What sort of techniques do you
Yes.
use there?
Um, if I say hypnosis,
Hmm.
would you accept it?
Yeah.
Okay, I love
Hmm.
the setting boundaries hypnosis scripts.
Okay.
I prepare for my
Uh-huh.
clients,
Hmm.
personalized scripts because, of course, we know what's the root cause for them.
Yes.
But hypnosis does
Okay.
wonders
Yes, for sure, for sure.
to,
So
to accelerate this. Yeah,
I studied
this
NLP,
process.
so yes.
Oh, okay, great, great.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm talking about.
Yes, I do. So how do you get to the core wounds though, in terms of so that you can do the reprogramming during the hypnosis meditation?
Well, with the shadow work,
Okay.
as I said
Hmm.
before, you do some shadow work around the issue, and you
Hmm.
go
Are
and
they still in a
explore.
hypnotic state when you do the shadow work with them?
No, no, no,
Okay,
no,
just
no.
talk
This
therapy.
is just in coaching sessions,
Yeah.
and we
Hmm.
go and we explore. Actually, I love them very conscious about it because I love them to uh that way they are actually thinking about stuff and they're discovering it by themselves. And when the person discovers by himself, herself, something that it stays it really stays in your head. And it's like, wow, that aha moment that has to come from yourself. So I love to do it with coaching sessions.
Mm, very nice. I love that. So we talked about this a little bit offline, but I think it's still very relevant to setting boundaries. Is yes, understanding your values, understanding your capacities, right? Doing the shadow work for sure, and then reprogramming if need be to really make it a sustainable habit. But I want to bring in grounding. Why is grounding so important and a pivotal part to sustaining the behavior, the new behavior you want to reprogram? So maybe let's start with what is your definition of grounding for those that may not know, and then we'll take it from there.
My definition, Rita, well,
Hmm.
there are so many grounding techniques, and throughout my life, I've learned a lot of them. I actually do grounding exercises every morning, but the one I find works really brilliantly, especially in challenging situations, even if you're not particularly into holistic methods, okay? So it's great for everyone, is just reconnecting to your body, to your core.
Hmm. Hmm.
I love the meditation that we did just at the beginning of this podcast because it's very similar. But I find that with people that has an anxiety attack or a difficult situation, when they need to set a boundary and they just have this guilt and fear and shame and everything rises up. Emotions, pull all your energy into your mind
Mm.
and they make it race like crazy. Did it ever happen to you? I mean, it happened to
Yes.
me so
Yes,
many
many
times.
times.
Yeah, so that's why your body often freezes in these moments, right? Because
Mm.
most of its energy has detached from it and it just phew, went up to your mind. And this is why in that exact moment, the reconnecting to the body is so effective. And how do you do it? It's really simple. It's all you need to do is focus on your breath and use this focus to shift your attention to your core. Okay. I use the belly button.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, I tell people just to concentrate all their thoughts and everything on their breath just above the belly button. And then they breathe. They try to find out that there is tightness or discomfort in their belly, in their abdomen, in other areas of their body, like neck or fists. And just, while breathing, ask them, so how is my body doing? And with every breath, as you shift energy from your thoughts to your body, your emotions will settle. And so will your mind, and you will feel your body again. And this is actually grounding. With practice, of course, it becomes easier, it becomes smoother, quicker. Okay. And once we connect to my body, for example, I love putting my feet on the ground. Very often we are not with our feet on the ground. And in this moment, I always recommend put your feet on the ground and just you will feel instantly stable, more stable, and more secure. And just imagine them really with roots grounded, attached to the ground. And with this sense of roots, it's so much easier to stay calm and to find solution than when challenges arise.
Yes, yes. So I do morning grounding exercises as well when I wake up in between client calls. If there's been some difficult client calls or just I'm really feeling that energy drain, then I ground myself as well or do the grounding. But what I've also noticed is that people are using it almost like as an anger management technique. So when they're about to like explode or get angry, they're just bringing themselves back to grounding. And some of my clients have said that it's worked in that way too. So you're right. It's just about coming back to the body and then helping you to regulate those emotions or at least be aware of those emotions before, they may take off into something else. So it's that awareness, isn't it? Yeah, my favorite technique of grounding is just to be out in nature too. So I love your yes, go barefoot if you can as much as possible. I do my gardening in the summer barefoot, and yeah, because it's my own backyard. I know what's out there, but sometimes I go in parks, and it just feels automatically so good. So I urge everyone just to try it because they may think we're nuts talking about this, but there are grounding mats now, grounding blankets, like so many
Yes.
things. This stuff is working. Like that's why it's so beautiful to go. Have you done going for a walk after it rains? Like the
Yeah,
ions,
it's
yeah, from
amazing.
nature. Like it's just so beautiful, so grounding, and it smells so nice. And the aromatherapy, and it's just so beautiful. So thank you. Yeah, for sure. That was really, really good. Very, very short technique. You can do that first thing in the morning. You could do that at night to help you settle before you sleep. So many people are having
Absolutely.
sleeping issues. So you can do that in terms of grounding as well. So is there maybe a particular, I know you're very passionate about grounding too. Is there like a particular story that you can help like share with us, whether it was your story or client story, when grounding really helped you to actually overcome a challenge?
Well, as I said, I use grounding every single day, and I believe that today. for most of the people who are not, the nature types and who
Mm-hmm.
are not holistic types, who think that all of these things that we're talking about is just the woo, it's, I always tell them, please use just think about your body. Because as I said, we're all made of energy. And most of the people today, their energy, they do not use their bodies anymore at all. We do not go for a walk, especially our children. I find, if you want to know where I use grounding and where I really saw it help, my children, when they had nightmares or when they were just,
Mm.
you know, freaking out, when your child freaks out because he wants that at that moment, and you just put your hands on their shoulders and you just try, to visualize. You start breathing deeply, and if you are connected with them, they will just match you, and they will
Yes.
start calming their
Mm.
breath.
Mm-hmm.
And I usually, visualize their energetic body just to get back into their core and through their feet into the
Mm.
ground. And it helps. It's
I
amazing.
believe it.
My my children don't even know that. Sometimes when my bigger one, when she grew, she was asking me about, what are you doing, when you put your
Mm-hmm.
hands on my shoulders, and I explained, and she said, oh, it's wonderful. Now she's using it too, because
Mm-hmm.
it's really immediate. It
Mm-hmm.
becomes immediate because we actually, with our thoughts, we can shift the energy. And it's
Yes.
it's not me saying, it's I mean the quantum physics saying so.
Right. Right.
So
Yes.
it's a real thing.
I
It's
love
a real
it.
thing.
I love it. I love these techniques too, Maria. Wow. Beautiful, beautiful. We're definitely taking notes here for sure. So, can you tell us if there is a common advice that you tend to give your clients? Is there something that you consistently share with your clients?
Um, one thing,
Mm-hmm.
one thing, it has nothing to do and everything to do with boundaries and with grounding, actually. But are you familiar? I'm sure you are familiar with the Serenity Prayer.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Okay, so this is something that is really, something that has been guiding me my whole life, and
Beautiful.
I'm sharing this with every single person I meet. So, for those who never heard it, it's, God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference.
Mm,
And I find it just brilliant,
it's
because
beautiful.
that's it.
Yeah.
Because most of us waste so much time and energy on things that are completely out of our control.
Yes.
You know, how often do we complain? Oh my God, it's raining. I hate
Mm-hmm.
rain. Okay, but why complaining? Why spending energy and
Mm,
time in complaining? You can't make it stop, you know,
mm-hmm.
but you can stay inside, dress accordingly, grab an
Yeah.
umbrella, you
Mm-hmm.
can make choices around that rain to help you deal with the rain instead of fighting it, right?
Yes.
So this prayer shifts your mindset completely.
It
I
is
really love
beautiful. Yes, yes. It's so beautiful. I love that. Thank you. Is there a best advice that you've ever been given and that still holds true today, if you think about it?
That's a wonderful question. I get advice all the time.
Hmm. Yes. Which one really stuck?
For me personally, to listen with an open heart and
Hmm.
curiosity,
Yes.
to be
Beautiful.
curious.
Hmm.
And I find it's great advice, really, because to, today, especially people that are brilliant, that are intelligent, and we have a lot of that today. I mean,
Hmm.
the humanity is really getting to amazing levels of mental intelligence, right? So we and we've all done so much. We've all experienced so much, and it sticks in in our minds, in our subconscious mind. And did you know that when you listen, you are able to hear like I don't know, 100 to 300 words in a minute, but you're able to have around 3,000 words while thinking in a minute. So
Mm.
it's a huge difference. It means that when I'm talking, you are already processing with it like 10 times faster. And in this process, we forget to listen with
Hmm.
curiosity. Okay.
Yes.
Because, you're talking and I already know what you want to say and I already know what I want to reply. And I already am thinking, how it's going to be. No, stop, Maria, stop. You do not know
Mm.
everything. Let the other surprise you. Yeah,
Yeah.
be curious and let
Mm.
the other surprise you.
I
So
love
I
it.
love this one.
I love it. I love it. And that's why we have two ears and one mouth. We're supposed to be doing
I
more
love
listening
this.
and less talking. But yeah, that's another thing I find a lot of people are cutting each other off, when they're talking and not listening. And yes, because we're so distracted and all of these devices around us are just helping to reinforce that distraction muscle. So yes, it's a practice again, right? It's just a really I
Yes.
know I was just telling a friend of mine that it's so much work to stay healthy, to stay, to do this work, the personal development stuff. It's a lot of work, It's not it doesn't come easy. I wish it came as easy as sitting on the couch, but it's just like working out your physical body. You need to do the physical work. And this is the same with your mental, emotional, and spiritual soul as well. So yes, I like that. So, what is the most influential book that you have read? And it could be a current book that you're reading today. What we do, Maria, is we actually collect these recommendations, and then at the end of the season, we share them with our listeners as recommended reads from our podcast guests.
Oh gosh,
I
I'm
know.
going to disappoint you so much because I do not read a lot. I
Okay,
do
that's
not read a
okay.
lot.
That's
Yeah,
okay.
so
That is
you know,
very honest and vulnerable, and I love that. So thank you. We'll go to the
that's
next question. No problem. So what are your top three non-negotiable self-care habits that you do on a daily basis? So how do you keep yourself in the shape, whether it's physical, mental, emotional, spiritual? Like what do you do?
okay. So as I said, non-negotiable
Mm-hmm.
is my morning grounding.
Mm-hmm. Love that.
Another non-negotiable is I actually do daily energy medicine exercises,
Mm-hmm.
okay, which I find fantastic.
Mm.
And I would like to say it once again, it's nothing, woo woo. My friends say, okay, there is an emergency, car coming to pick you up, because they say I'm crazy. But I'm not. It really works. You should try it, do not have bias around it because energy, I mean, the physics has shown us energy is real and we are
Mm-hmm.
made out of energy. And if we want to vibrate well, we need to take care of our energetic body as
Mm.
well.
Yes. Yes.
It's also connected. And another thing, every single day, I take like 20 minutes my time,
Mm.
where I shut myself. I leave the phone, I leave the TV, I leave people around me, if I can get out, I get out. If I can't get out, I just close myself in the room and I just, be.
Mm.
I don't know how to say this better. Sometimes I'm thinking a lot. Sometimes I'm just concentrating on my
Mm.
feelings. Sometimes I'm just annoyed. But I try to be annoyed as well because, when you're annoyed and it's like very meditating, when you're annoyed, some of the most creative thoughts come to you. So,
Not a
so this is
frustration.
Yeah, yes,
Yeah.
yeah, yes, yes, exactly,
Mhm.
exactly.
Yeah. I've
So
been there.
these are
I've
the
been there.
things I do for myself. Yeah, yeah.
Beautiful. Thank you. So, what is your legacy, Maria? What do you want to be known for?
I want to be known for my support. I I love supporting. I really love. I haven't said that, but I've started like 20 years ago as a PT because I had that spinal surgery when I was 15, not surgery, injury when I was 15. And then I became kinesiologist and I
Hmm.
worked in rehab. So I could actually rehab myself. They told me that I would need to rehab for life. And then I started working in the rehab with other people. And from there I've started to work in rehab on their mental level, right?
Mm.
And every time that a person wins, that does that small win over him or herself, because every time we fight for something, every time we want to achieve something, more, we want to change something, we need to change something so that we could be better, feel better, become a better person, become who we want to be. We always say better, better. Become who you want to be, and live your mission and live your purpose and live the life that makes you generally happy. It's a win for me when I see them shine, it's such a win for me. So yeah, I love being the back up behind them and just supporting them. I wish this is the way people think about me.
Yeah,
Probably.
beautiful. Thank you. So, if somebody wants to connect with you and help, so that you can help them, support them, where is the best way?
Well, you can find me either on Instagram or on LinkedIn. I do not have website. I'm a very private person, and but I have a LinkedIn page, Marija
Mhm.
Kalenic, and Instagram, Marija Kalenic Mental Coach. So, you can connect with those two.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much. This was so beautiful. I loved your voice. It's so calming, and it just, I really do feel that the energy, talking about energy, your calming energy, you really do really embody this sense of mental stableness, mental calmness that you can bring to people because you embody it yourself. So I'm really grateful that you shared your beautiful techniques with us, with some grounding, some also setting boundary techniques. And I know I can talk to you forever, I'm sure. I had a lot of follow-up questions, but maybe next time. So thank you so much for sharing your beautiful energy with us today. And I welcome you back.
Wow, thank you, Rita. Really, thank you so much. I really, really enjoyed it.
Thank you. So did I. Have a beautiful day. Thank you for tuning in to the Self Care Goddess podcast. If today's episode inspired you, share it with another woman who's ready to reclaim her vitality and lead from within. To continue your journey, be sure to subscribe, leave a review, and connect with me on ritasavoya.com. Until next time, remember, self-care isn't selfish, it's your superpower. Take a deep breath in, exhale, and keep rising. Ciao for now.